Being aware of the different sounds in our lives can really be of help to us. If we stop and listen, we can hear the sounds that are in our lives. And not just in our life, but the life that surrounds us. This awareness can help us in many ways. As we hear and listen to these sounds, we can allow our attention to be focused on those sounds and not your worry or anxiety of that moment. You can hear the smooth whisper of the wind or even the very strong roll of a gust of wind. You can hear the sound of the trees as the wind runs through it. And you're paying attention to that sound. You can listen fully to that sound and not be in a place of worry or anxiety. You can hear the gurgling of a brook. It is very much alive with a myriad of notes coming from the water. There are low notes and higher splashes as the water falls from larger stones. And as you listen, allow that sound to carry you to peace. Imagine that you are very small and magical and riding on a wonderful strong leaf that is floating in this brook. Feel your body relax as you glide upon the sparkling, singing water. Listening to sound is a choice, and the deeper you can allow yourself to listen, the more you are able to take a reprieve in a sound meditation away from that which may be causing you worry or fear or anxiety. You can hear the song of a bird song. Listen and watch. This bird is singing without hesitation. The song it sings is unique, and it's not the same song that different types of birds sing. The bird is singing not to compete because it must sing. It doesn't compete with the other birds. It sings because it has a song. This is part of what it does. Please allow this song to fill your heart. Allow the song to fill your heart. Listen to the sound of this bird and let all other thoughts cease for the moment. When we listen, really listen to the sounds that surround us, we can enter into that sound. We can be present in that sound. It's interesting, isn't it, that the sound of thunder could be calming to one and terrifying to another? It's interesting how one particular type of music can be very uplifting to one person, while the next person really doesn't like that music at all. We are all different, and we all have different sounds in our lives that bring us joy and comfort as well as displeasure. I remember teaching a flute class and thought that I would have the flute players accompany the sound of rain. I thought this rain was very soothing, and that the class would find it oh so wonderful to play along with it. Then one of the students spoke up and said how she hated the sound of rain. It made her angry and she didn't want to hear it. I realized with a start that what can be pleasurable for one can be disastrous for another. This is because we put different attachments to various sounds. When I hear a particular song, I may remember what I was doing and how old I was and the circumstances surrounding that. What would happen if I just took those attachments away and listened to the sound of the song just for the song? Can I do this? Can I look at a red rose and not remember the roses that were sent to me by a particular person? Can I look at a running stream and not remember a situation of my youth? It is not a bad thing to remember my youth, but what if I just look at the stream and listened to the sound of the stream all by itself? Let's look at this stream. You see the beautiful water peacefully rolling. You see the stream talking to you, babbling as it journeys along. This stream is like us. It has to go over rocks and twigs, around corners, and sometimes create a new path. If we look at a stream without preset ideas, maybe we could see it differently. Can you relate to a stream that is covered with ice and then it slowly begins to melt? Bit by bit, the great thought is upon us. The water begins to run richly. This is the sound that is indeed our lives. If you were to lift up your voice and sing, what would that sound like? Would it be a low rumbling sound or a soft cloud-like song? Would you make a sound that is like the purring of a cat? Or would your voice be more like the barking of a dog? Or maybe you would sit quietly, not wanting to be noticed. And yet we are part of this great orchestra of sound, all of us. And we all have words to say. What is the words and sounds that you use now that are different than ones you used perhaps a year ago? Perhaps you don't gravitate to the same sounds you did before. Perhaps you've come to really appreciate the sound of silence instead of listening to the constant chatter of others. And maybe you like to hear the comfort sounds in your home, the sound of the dryer, the humming sound of your refrigerator, the soft walking of your four-legged friend across a tile floor or even in the yard, and you hear their tags jingling. Are you more aware of the sounds that surround you now? If you sit quietly to meditate, listen to the sounds that are around you. Is there a bird singing outside? Is there a fan that whispers quietly? What sounds bring you comfort? What sounds bring you comfort? What are the songs that you might listen to when you have trouble sleeping? What are the sounds that soothe you? If we are aware of sounds and how they affect us, this is a good thing. There are times when we are able to actually plug into this type of peace. If I'm having trouble sleeping, I can listen to the sound of waves, or rain, or birds, or singing. I can easily do this from a device, and this helps me drift off to sleep. Are there any sounds that you use to help you drift off to sleep? If I am in a situation where there is much discord and yelling, I can move away from that sound. I can assure myself that I am offering protection to me. If there is thunder and I become afraid, I can move inside. And again, I can speak truth to myself. I am taking care of myself. I am taking care of you, I say. As we navigate through the sounds in our world, we cannot always change things to be peaceful and silent. There are ways that we can play with sound, alter it even. If I live on a traffic-filled street, I can think of that traffic sound almost as a rushing river, or the early morning song of the mockingbird could be like a conductor waking up all the other birds to sing with the rising sun. Think of sound to be a validation that there is other life. Traffic lets us know there are others. We share the planet with the sounds of others. Our urban sound studio will not be totally quiet unless we live in a very remote place. I have stopped trying to record using egg cartons and soundproof rooms. Instead, I merge into that which is around me and expect that there will always be some noise and sound. Some of it I will enjoy. Some of it I will desperately not enjoy. But mostly I work to accept that they're with the rest of the world. As my kitten makes her soft little sounds, sometimes I respond to her in kind. It's non-human words, which I use to attempt my kitten talk. She looks at me and often will come running over to me because she somehow understands I am seeking to communicate with her. In the same way as we speak with others, speaking and using their words and their intonations, there is a connection in sound. And so, with this awareness, we clue into that which is around us. Rather than something to fight against, can we understand sound as something to merge into our lives? The fan in my room at night becomes a soft whispering sound that is soothing. The crickets outside are a sign of life. The chop, chop, chop of my neighbor's garden tools is a reassurance that others are busy about their lives. The sounds of life, even the traffic, can be a sound that allows us to live in the now. What are the sounds of your life? Adding to this awareness brings a new measure of life where we live in the moment. This helps us not to dwell in the past or to live in fear of the future. What are the sounds in your life?